Well, George, nice to see you. We're talking about chat-a-thons tonight and placebos.
What's a placebo?
It's something which you give to somebody. They think that it's something that they are finding beneficial to themselves, but nevertheless it's nothing at all. It's just a pill which enables them to feel much the same way as they did before.
That is called a placebo.
That is called a placebo.
But we mustn't divert from the subject. You can lose points for that. So we're talking about
placebos
and chat-a-thons.
And placebos.
Chat-a-thons and placebos.
Which are very much the same thing. Because a placebo is something which is given to somebody else and they can take it or not, as the case may be, in the same way as you can enter a chat-a-thon and talk for a certain amount of minutes and be judged to win or lose, but it really makes no difference because a chat-a-thon is a thoroughly pointless exercise, as indeed is a placebo.
Well, it's a pointless exercise, but it comes down to the judges, you see, and they judged in ignorance, like most judges do.
Well, let me say this, George. I mean, when you come to judging and placebos, who is to gauge whether the judge is a placebo or a real judge? This is a very difficult point which has often evaded the learned, because very occasionally one comes up before a judge who makes up his mind and decides that you're guilty or not guilty. On other occasions, the majority of occasions, you come up before a placebo who has no idea whatsoever whether you're taking part in a trial, a placebo or a chat-a-thon, which leads to many miscarriages of justice.
The greatest miscarriage of all of justice at the chat-a-thon is that because I didn't collect any of the money that the sponsors gave me, I've given Asbar a bad cheque.
You gave him a placebo. He couldn't tell the difference between a bad cheque and a good cheque. You gave him a cheque which satisfied him at the time, but nevertheless was no good to him at all.
I gave Camden to Palace a cheque tonight. I gave the Steel Band a cheque tonight. I give lots of cheques. Can you get a placebo in a gazebo?
In a gazebo, a placebo is very easily attained.
Is it?
It's one of the easiest things to attain. One of the hardest things to attain at this time of night is a cigarette, which you may have noticed. Some people get a cigarette, some people get a placebo.
But even worse, I've rolled a joint and I've got no cigarette papers.
This is appalling.
How's a fag, man?
Well, this is appalling, George, and I can only say it's not surprising that you're eliminated from the contest for lack of speaking.
I had some woman of about 75 years old to discuss the opposite sex with.
Which presumably she was.
She was the opposite sex.
And different age.
Absolutely, and she didn't ask me a single question in the whole hour. Even when I tried to shock her by saying I thought in today's society marriages should be between 3 people instead of 2 people, she agreed with me, as I couldn't even argue about it.
Well, now, why don't you ask the chat-a-thon? Which the subject was the placebo. Obviously, you've got a 75-year-old placebo instead of a woman, because a real woman would have argued with you. You obviously were arguing with a placebo who never said a thing at all.
What is a real woman?
Well, a placebo, really.
Define the word again, because we're discussing it. I'm still not sure what it means. Can you give me an example of it?
Well, when testing drugs, you can have the drug which has some effect.
It's just in the mind. It's just in the mind.
Just in the mind. Well, one of the drugs may have an effect. The other drug will have no effect at all because it's made up of things which are entirely harmless. But on the other hand, you can get a placebo which is more effective than the drug itself, in which case people get hooked on the placebo, which is made up of harmless substances, and go around to doctors of dubious reputations in order to get say, can I have a placebo, please?
I understand.
In which case they may give you the real drug.
I realise now that all political parties and all religious organisations, they're all placebos in comparison to Captain Rainbow's Universal Party.
Which can be taken harmlessly at no cost to the general public. We're all agreed here, though, George, that the best idea
is to shoot myself.
is not to shoot yourself, is to get women round here.
Yeah.
I mean, however placebo-like they be, it is a good idea to get them all upstairs into your bedroom.
Is it?
And fuck them. Then at least you can take out, you can learn from them. You can get their wisdom. Because women are so much more wise than us men. So if you stuff them all up in the top room, they come round and take the onus off you.
Yeah, but I think I've got everybody's wisdom, you see. I think everyone gave me
You're not a very good woman.
I'm not a very good woman.
No. This is where you fall down. As a woman. You don't look like a woman. You don't act like a woman. You are far too magnanimous, generous, kind, pleasant, and all the other words which come along with placebo.
Might be a placebo.
I'm not suggesting an operation. I think rather than you converting yourself to a woman, you should get women around here.
Yes, I probably could have done so tonight quite easily.
Well, just paying £3 entrance fee. Are those pills?
No, these was to sustain me through the chatter.
What are they?
Placebos.
Well, that's no good at all. I thought you had real drugs there.
No, I've got some real drugs.
As opposed to
I've got
placebos.
no papers.
I'm trying to stick with the subject, which is placebos. Or chattertons.
I think you should go into the recording business.
I'm in the recording business. What do you mean I should go into it? I've gone into it. I'm standing up as a prophet. I'm saying July the 10th is Judgment Day. I said the Rainbow Connection is watching everyone. You've got 3 months to sort your lives out. It's powerful stuff. I mean, it's not powerful stuff if someone stands up as a prophet and just says what I've just said. But if you're also political, if you're also starting a referendum and trying to get Parliament abolished, those two things combined are very strong, if you can get to say them.
I think you should get some women around here.
So do I.
About 400.
At least.
All you have to do is advertise.
You?
Yeah, say women wanted. No, that will put them off if they think they're wanted. Women not wanted here at all. No women allowed in. Because that's what we want upstairs. George, in the old days, this house was awash with women. Now it's been taken over by politics and trying to change the world.
Yeah.
Why not change the women upstairs?